At Gamescom this week, the XboxEra team descended en masse to the Microsoft business area to go hands-on with the upcoming ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. Is this partnered device worth checking out for you, or even the average gamer? We'll dig into the details in this ROG Xbox Ally hands-on preview. The ROG Xbox Ally comes in two flavours, the more standard Xbox Ally and the much beefier and kitted out Xbox Ally X. The white version, why it's not called the Xbox Ally S is kind of beyond me, is going to be the more affordable of the two devices, with smaller storage capacities for games at just 512 gig, less video memory with 16 gig of LPDDR5X 6400, and among other cost-saving reductions like a lack of Xbox's impulse triggers. The chip for this one is the Z2A, which has been optimised by the team specifically for this device. Per Ryan Soanes, head of Xbox devices, it has the best balance of price, performance and power of any handheld in the market. The Xbox Ally X is the beefier, bigger brother of the two, with a number of additional features and spec bumps to justify what is likely going to be a significantly higher price point. We've got 24 gig of LPDDR5X 8000 memory, a 1TB M2 SSD, impulse triggers and a larger battery. The Xbox Ally X also has the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor with dedicated AI functionality. Like most, my eyes roll up into the back of my skull when I hear folks start harping on about AI, but per Xbox, the benefit of being able to have that as a separate piece of silicon is that you can build experiences without impacting gameplay, because you can still keep 100% of the GPU focused on games. I think for Xbox it's about future-proofing to some degree with what this and future devices are going to be able to do. I think we all came away super impressed with both Xbox Allies, but the white, cheaper Xbox Ally is arguably the more interesting of the two devices Asus and Xbox are offering here. Yes, the hardcore gamer is going to want the bigger Xbox Ally X, but the reality is that the Xbox Ally is going to be more affordable and is going to be directly competing with devices like Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch 2. As a current ROG Ally X owner, holding either of these new devices in your hands makes the various ergonomic improvements the teams have made immediately noticeable, just in how the device sits in your hands. It really does feel like holding a slightly heavier Xbox Elite controller. As someone who already delights in pads that let you add additional weights, it felt great. And ergonomically, that's the biggest change. We have our ABXY Xbox buttons, and the guide button is here too, though it's not in its usual spherical form. Instead, it's been placed on the far left of the device, keeping the more angular design stylings of ROG. Overall, it doesn't look as derpy as, say, the PlayStation Portal, but it obviously has a lot more going on under the hood. For both Asus and Xbox, the plan here is to continue the original mission of the ROG Ally, enabling gamers to play their games from multiple stores on one compact and capable device powered by Windows 11. But as any existing ROG Ally owner will tell you, the worst thing about the Ally is Windows itself. Anytime Windows had to appear on your existing handhelds, from the login to the god-awful virtual keyboard to background tasks sucking precious resources, the operating system made using the existing ROG Ally occasionally painful, even with Asus's efforts with their Armoury Crate application. Thankfully, the Xbox Ally X brings it with it a whole new front end, while still being powered by Windows 11 Home, and it makes it feel so much more like a console than ever before. The first thing to note about the new handheld Xbox experience is how intuitive it is for anyone user navigating either the Xbox console dashboard or the Xbox PC app. The login screen is replaced with a contextual pin login, and just like Xbox, each button has a controller assigned to it. If you've ever used a pin on console for parental controls, it's exactly the same. Of course, you can still use the built-in fingerprint reader too. The home experience has a couple of really great features. First to note is the jump back in section, which does exactly what it says. If you were playing elsewhere, it'll follow your activity so you can stay on task with whatever game you're playing. And if you haven't got it installed on your device locally, it'll happily boot up the cloud option instead, or let you remote stream it from another device locally on the same network. It's pretty nifty. A press of the Xbox Nexus will bring up the game bar, which can be navigated either by touch or the bumpers, just like on console. You can also see performance metrics as well as capture options, settings and more. You can also access the updated command center, which has been completely integrated into Game Bar on the left of the home widget. From there you can adjust Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, performance, screen brightness, etc. with ease. It even supports gestures like swiping from left to bring up the game bar or right to bring up the notification center, which is still very Windows and looks a little out of place, though the team say they are working on it. For the most part, Windows just isn't here, at least on the surface. The team have removed several components of Windows to make it a controller-first device, and it really does make all the difference in the world. It's not perfect, however. To install apps like Discord, Steam or other storefronts, you're still going to need to play around in Windows 11, and it operates much like it does right now. Thankfully, loading apps and playing from other stores is pretty great if you're just gaming and staying within the confines of the Xbox full screen experience. I think we were all unanimous in our praise at how well games performed on both of these devices. While we expected the Xbox Ally X to do very well based on specs alone, I was genuinely surprised at just how well. Doom the Dark Ages, Gears Reloaded and Forza Horizon 5 were extremely performant and looked fantastic at the same time. Of course, indie gems like Balatro were flawless, and I loved that while you could use the controller as normal, the game supported touch thanks to the inbuilt touchscreen, which is great for experiences that utilise it. But what really surprised us more than anything else was the Xbox Ally, that's the white one. Here's Forza Horizon 5, looking as beautiful as ever, running at a solid 60 FPS. Our art and design lead Predrag has an existing Ally, and for him the difference was dramatic to say the least. Additionally, games like Doom the Dark Ages also ran surprisingly smooth at what looked like medium settings. Even Expedition 33, a game that was pretty demanding at launch for a lot of PCs, was running nicely and looking as lovely as ever. The elephant in the room, of course, is that as much as these devices are being called Xboxes, they will not natively run your existing console library. For someone in the industry, I understand the why. Of course they won't, they are PCs. But for the average gamer that may expect to be able to just pick up a new handheld come October 16th and play everything they own, they're going to be in for an unpleasant surprise. There are still several thoughts I have after spending a decent amount of time with both handhelds this week. One, it's an incredibly exciting first step for the Xbox platform that increasingly seeks to be everywhere, allowing my games and where I want to play them to almost feel like the primary goal of the Xbox platform. It's curious that we have a release date, but not a price for either as of yet. The word on the ground at Gamescom is that following the leaked prices earlier last month, Asus and Microsoft kind of closely monitored the reactions. The original plan was indeed to reveal both the release date and pricing during the Gamescom stream this week, including how and when pre-orders would go live. Instead, it seems that both Asus and Microsoft are perhaps working to further subsidise the handheld devices in an effort to perhaps improve the pricing in the eyes of consumers. Any pricing you're seeing online right now, it seems, is merely placeholder. It's an interesting step for this new hardware relationship, but overall I think the delay in detailing the pricing for the Xbox Ally is a promising sign. From my perspective, it shows a desire to give this relatively new handheld Xbox a genuine chance at being more than a hardcore niche product. Two, it shows that Asus and Xbox are very much paying attention. Sure, it would have been smoother to share all of the information in one hit, but if an improvement on the rumoured placeholder pricing is on the way, that can only be a good thing. It's tricky to estimate just how much Windows will get out of the way in real world use and how stable and performant the Xbox full screen experience will be when I'm playing games on the device on a daily basis. I want to be able to fully test the battery life of both across different performance settings to see how long they can function as genuine handheld consoles before needing to be plugged in. Equally, what improvements have been made to Windows' built-in sleep hibernation functions? Can I do a quick power off and not find my device to have its battery completely depleted a couple of days later? How will Windows updates be handled? And could they really not improve the bezel around that screen? These are all questions that I don't really yet have an answer for. Despite that, I can't deny that I'm excited for both of these devices. As a gamer that mainly plays on Xbox and fully takes advantage of all of the benefits that this ecosystem has to offer, from Play Anywhere to Game Pass to streaming my own games, this offers me some serious flexibility, especially when I'm on the road. For Xbox, this is just the beginning, and I'm pretty keen to go on the journey. We look forward to bringing you our in-depth review coverage of the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X a little closer to launch. Until then, thanks for watching. If you enjoy the channel, please do hit subscribe. And if you really love what XboxEra does as an independent outlet, the best way you can support us is by heading over to Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and you can support us directly. And in return, we'll give you cool stuff. So what's not to like? We'll see you next time.